Okay, to give you a quick summary of what this video is going to entail, we're going to be installing a bathroom floor in one day. And the first thing I want to go over that's really important is having a good underlayment for your tile and making sure you have good coverage. So we're going to be installing Schluter DITRA. This is an underlayment for tile, and we're going to be going over a bunch of waterproofing tips that I think you really should implement in your own bathroom, especially against a tub or a shower base. You want to make sure everything's 100% waterproof so that you have a long-lasting bathroom. We're going to be going over tiling techniques, things that you should definitely implement so that you have good coverage on your tile, and using all the different systems that are really helpful to install, especially when it comes to transitions at doorways. You want to install that properly. We'll be getting into how to cut some tile for around difficult areas, and yeah, I'm really excited to show you, so let's get into it. Okay, so I'm gonna keep these shims in here. I'm just gonna cut them flush. But I just want to note, you can see how I basically have a 1/4 inch almost to 3/8 inch to a 1/2 inch on this side. So not a huge deal, but you know, sometimes if you don't level your floor out completely, these are kind of some of the minor issues that you have to overcome. But they can definitely be overcome with the mortar. And then as far as the tiling go, we can build up a little bit more Thinset to make it level if we want. Or really with this little bit of variance, it's not that big of a deal. So let's just cut these off flush. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is just make sure get all the debris off the floor. Wipe it down with a damp sponge. This will prevent the Thinset from wicking into the subfloor too quickly, and really gives you a chance to clean this all up. They do make a DITRA trowel, basically a 3/16 inch by 3/16 inch square notch trowel. And then we'll go ahead and apply our Thinset. So use the flat side of the trowel first, burn it into the substrate. So then you always want to do your directional troweling. Okay, then you take a grout float and really try to embed this into the substrate or into your Thinset. Okay, so it's not a bad idea to grab make sure you have good coverage. So you can see it's all suctioning off a little bit there. I could probably apply a little bit more, but it's not going to hurt you to pull it all up to make sure it's well bonded. But that's sufficient. Usually about 90% coverage. You know, again, there's a little bit of an area there, but for the most part, you just want to see that suctioning up. again, not a bad idea to pull this back. Make sure you're getting good coverage. That looks pretty good. Need a little bit more. So don't be afraid to pull it back because it's not going to hurt anything. If anything, it's just going to make sure that you get it a good bond to it. Okay, so when it comes to the toilet flange, I like to cut a square of this Kerdi membrane. And if you cut on the inside of the pipe with it, it'll stretch around the pipe nicely. So get it kind of close. Yeah, so that makes a nice tight seal against there. So what we'll do is, since I just have go board sealant and I already have a half a tube here, I'm just going to use that. So just seal around the pipe. Some Thinset to bond that. Take this. So now we basically have a nice watertight seal around our pipe. Make sure you have enough Thinset right here. Okay, so kind of the same concept here. Let's get some Kerdi membrane. So basically going straight across shower area. I think this is a very critical part of the whole system, is making sure that this is a really waterproof tight seal here. So let's first get our Thinset on the DITRA mat. Okay, so then we're going to get a bead or sealant here right against the edge. And then we're going to kind of wrap this up slightly up onto the shower pan. And then that'll create a nice good seal against there. You can see how that's oozing up out of where the Kerdi membrane is. And don't worry about too much on there. You'll be able to get that off. Okay, so I'm gonna do these corners here next. Okay, so this is another area I think it's important, is to go up, flash up the walls, especially on the adjacent walls of the shower. So some might consider it overkill, but I think it's important, especially against the shower area. And to make a homemade corner, rather than have to spend those expensive corners, just take a piece of Kerdi, 6 inches, 4 inches, whatever. Just cut part of it in half, and then that'll allow us to make the corner. Tuck that into the corner. And then you have to lift up the flap and put a little bit of Thinset underneath that flap. Okay, so we're going to start right at the shower base. So use the back side of the trowel to fill in that waffle. And then directional troweling on the short side of the tile. So you can see with the 1/2 inch, it really provides a really nice coat of mud. Our Thinset. Okay, then back side of the trowel, just back butter your tile. And then we're just going to stick this right up against our shower base. Leave a little bit of expansion and contraction against the corners and even against the base, but really the way this is going to go is just going to give me like a nice little 1/8 inch space there. Okay, so this margin trowel, just kind of feather out the sides where you're going to be putting the clips. So 2 clips on the short side. So rather than using a laser, just use a straight edge Make sure that this all stays nice and straight. And this can also allow you to give you a good indication of what you need to measure for here. So 10.5. Okay, so we're just going to use a piece of Schluter edging. So I'll just cut this to fit. Okay, so I usually just go straight up to my door stop, because that's right where my edge of my door is, and that's where they'll end up putting that new flooring that they're installing over there. Okay, so we'll cut out this jamb. Okay, so the Squadro was the winner here. This little 3 3/8 inch blade really thin, and it created the least amount of vibration to crack that, eliminating cracking that tile. So once you have that first row kind of established, and then you have your edging at your doorway, the rest of it is pretty much continuing the pattern. So it's kind of a wash, rinse, and repeat throughout the rest of the bathroom. It goes pretty quickly. One thing I'd probably recommend is to be a little bit cleaner than the way I've been in there. If you would take a little bit more time cleaning as you go, it would probably prevent you from having a lot of effort the next morning to clean everything up. And I do recommend you remove those clips and do everything the next morning. So make sure you have enough time to be able to do that, because once that Thinset completely cures, it's going to be very difficult to get out of in between the joints and off of the surface of the tile at some times. So this is just a matter of continuing through the bathroom, and you'll get this done and be able to grout the next day. So this video is part of a course that I've developed on this specific bathroom. If you're looking for more step-by-step guidance through the entire process of the bathroom remodel, check out my course. It'll definitely keep you organized and allow you to get your bathroom done in an efficient amount of time. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.